How low can you go? Death row? What a brother know. Once again back, it's the incredible rhyme animal, the uncannibal D. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy CoolStoryBrobat with another UU Open Round 2 match replay. Now, in the last video, I had some depressing news saying that UU Open replays were canceled because freaking Pokemon Showdown lost all the replays. Well, lo and behold, the replays have all come back miraculously. So, I'm going to be able to continue pushing my footage. I need some more round 2 replays after this one. If I can't find any, then I'll just upload mine and we'll just go to round 3. But this is Vileman versus Hybuyn. I'm just going to call him Hybuyn. Vileman versus Hybuyn here. Now, these two teams are pretty offensive, and UU looks so different now compared to how it did back when this replay was recorded. Weavile was legal, Mega Swampert was legal, Conqueror was legal. It was such a different metagame. Now, both of these teams are very offensive, and really the match could actually go either way. However, I want to swing this a little bit in Hybuyn's favor just because he has what looks like a probable Vileman on his team. Vileman has a pretty nice matchup just because of how annoying it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. He has a lot. Vileman has a Latios. He has a Weavile. He has presumably a Mega Swampert, a Cobalion, a Nidoking. Things all capable of breaking Vileman's substitute. However, nothing but Latios really wants to switch in on Scald. And that's where I think Vileman kind of shines. So let's see how this plays out because, like I said, this battle can go either way. Otherwise, these guys are packing a lot of offensive threats. So turn 1, Conqueror versus Cobalion. Obviously, Cobalion's not winning that one-on-one. So Vileman switches early to Togekiss. Conqueror is going to go for the easy Drain Punch. He's going to switch out, go to Gliscor on his Togekiss. Does almost half of this thing's health with Air Slash. Pretty impressive. So Gliscor is going to set up his rocks. This Togekiss hits very hard for no good reason whatsoever. Gliscor isn't going to win that one-on-one because his rock's Gliscor, so he switches out. Togekiss hits the Defog. So I'm wondering why that Air Slash did that much, or is Gliscor's special defense just that bad? But, so Empoleon uses knockoff, his Vileman goes to Latios. Latios sets up a Calm Mind as Gliscor comes in. Gliscor is going to take this Psychic and get erased. I don't know why Hybuyn just let his rocks die that early. He could have just gone back to Empoleon, but I think maybe he was fearing the Thunderbolt on Latios. That might be why. But, you know, U-turn, Beedrill U-turns as Vileman goes to Cobalion. He close combats on the Conqueror. Conqueror is going to use Drain Punch and just pretty much siphon all of his health back. I think that was a weird play. Like, I mean, I get you didn't really want to risk switching Togekiss into a Facade, but I don't think sacking Cobalion was really the ideal play either, because both of these guys pretty much just sacked their rocks early game, thus kind of extending this. Now, while this might have been one of my favorite series of round 2, this was my least favorite round 1, and you're going to see why. So Vileman is in on his Mega Swampert. Vileman is playing pretty aggressive because he knows the matchup he has against Vileman is kind of rough. So he's grateful that Scald did not burn this thing because Earthquake does a nice amount to this Suicune. Vileman is going to read the incoming Protect and hit Rain Dance to activate Swift Swim on Swampert so he can go first. Hybuyn is forced to go to Hydreigon to try to mess with the Swampert. However, Hydreigon does not outspeed and gets hit with an Ice Punch by Mega Swampert. Takes a large chunk, but Draco Meteor finishes it off. Vileman brings in the Weavile. The resisted pursuit from Choice Band Weavile finishes off the Hydreigon, taking a crisp third of his health. Weavile's gonna die to the revenge killing Beedrill's U-turn. Suicune's gonna come back in again. It's healed at almost full health. Half health, I'm sorry. Just as the rain goes away. Latios comes in. Hybuyn goes to Empoleon. You know, I'm really not sure why he didn't go to it earlier on the Latios. Like, was he scouting? Was he scared? I don't know. But Latios is starting to Calm Mind now. However, he gets that lucky burn off on this thing. He gets the lucky burn on it. Latios clicks Psychic again, but Empoleon just goes for Roar. Nidoking comes in. Nidoking is going to switch out, and he's going to go back to Latios because, truth be told, Nidoking actually cannot KO Empoleon from this range with Earth Power. I calced it. It does a lot, but it's not a KO from there. So, Suicune's going to come in on the Latios, and you're going to see now why this is my least favorite round 1. Because when you take a Vileman on your team, you're basically taking an insurance policy of no less than 40 extra turns of your battle. And this is no exception here. So, we're going to get into what looks like a very aggressive Calm Mind war between a Vileman and a Latios. Now, Latias wants to be very careful about his Draco Meteor PP because of its pressure ability. Suicune is able to run Latias out of ammo quickly. Now, it's super unfortunate that he missed that Draco Meteor. That is also going to make this game go on a lot longer, because if he would have hit that one, he would have just been able to punish the Suicune a lot more quickly. But because he missed that Draco Meteor, now he has to deal with playing around the substitute and protect shenanigans that Suicune is known for bringing. I don't know why my footage is lagging. I'm so sorry, guys. Just bear with it. It's still going. It's still going. Just bear with it. It's somewhere in there. It's still going. Okay, there we go. Back. Oh, wait, no, we're not. No, we're not. Oh my goodness, what happened? That my footage was lagging this badly. Holy crap, dude. Okay, can we go? You're not gonna go, huh? You just not gonna go? Or what? Okay, are we back? Okay, we're back. Okay, so yeah, Suicune and Latias here in this Calm Mind War. Basically, this is kind of, you know, but the real annoying thing about this is, if you had just run Side Shock on Latias, this wouldn't even be a problem, because you would have been able to hit Suicune's vulnerable defense that it cannot boost, and you would have been able to sweep past this, and you would have been able to, you know, have a better shot at closing this game out. But I mean, even with Mega Beedrill in the back, I think this is still in Hybuyn's favor, strictly because of Mega Beedrill. Like, but you have to get past the Vincun. I mean, really, the type of scenario this is, I mean, really, you could just, like, switch to Conqueror, sack Conqueror, and just go to Beedrill and just finish this game. But instead, we have to do this. We have to do this. We have to have Latias without Side Shock and Calm Mind Latias without Side Shock versus Vincun. I mean, I understand Psychic is a good move. It's a lot stronger than Side Shock. And not to mention, it does a lot more damage to stuff like Cobalion. But come on, man. You need the Side Shock to get past the defense, man. Like, so that this stuff doesn't happen. And pretty much now you're just taking your time, wasting your turns, and clicking your moves, and yeah. I don't feel like narrating this part now. I'm just gonna, I don't know, like, I mean, they're clicking Calm Mind. They're all clicking Calm Mind. The big draw to this, if you haven't figured it out, is Latias has to just pick its moves very carefully and make sure that Suicune doesn't click Protect on any of them because it runs out of PP. It has to use Psychic to break Suicune's substitute, and that's going to be kind of the issue. The other thing is that Suicune is not going to know when Latias clicks Psychic to break the substitute. Vileman is kind of like, he's faking him out because he just keeps clicking Calm Mind. I think he's trying to wait until Suicune actually clicks Protect itself, because once he clicks Protect once, he has a much lower percent chance of getting a second Protect off afterwards. So yeah, that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for the Protect to come up. Now that he's used Calm Mind, he has faked him out on the Protect. Vileman is now gonna continue clicking Calm Mind. Okay, never mind then. And we're both gonna just keep clicking Calm Mind because we just don't know how to finish a game. Alright guys, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna actually narrate through this. I'm not gonna speed it up, I'm not gonna skip it, because I want you to feel my agony. I want you to feel my agony. Like, I mean, I've watched this battle, but, like, I didn't, like, watch this segment because, you know, why the heck would I want to watch this again? So, yeah, he clicked Protect that time. You should totally go for Psychic or something and break the sub. There you go, he breaks the substitute. He breaks the sub, he's going for Psychic. Now we're in business. Now we're cooking with some grease. He's going to click Protect again. Please tell me you clicked. He clicked Psychic again. I was not keeping track of the PP because that's just way too much work for replay. But he hits him with the the Z Psychic, Shattered Psyche, and with the subsequent substitute following after that, that manages to bring Suicune's HP down to a quarter of his health. Latias, predicting the Protect, is going to click Calm Minds here. Vincun is going for Protect. He breaks the substitute with a critical Psychic, not that the crit matters. Substitute once again. Now, it's kind of a mind game here, because he was actually predicting Suicune to go for Protect, but they both went for Calm Mind here. And I mean, Suicune now, it's safe for him to go for Protect, but Vileman, I guess he might be out of PP for Psychic, so he just clicks Draco Meteor, breaks the substitute, and lowers the special attack in the process. The only reason he would click Draco Meteor is that Psychic is out of PP. That's the only reason why. However, After getting hosed down by this +6 Suicune, Latias is still hanging in there. He's still got enough juice to get one last Draco Meteor off before the thing dies. There we go. Finally dead. Only took like 30 something turns. Mega Beedrill comes in and pursues this Latias for all like 3% of its health. Nidoking comes in. Scarf Nidoking with Flamethrower. Never mind, he had an ace in the sleeve all along. Too bad you didn't have Drill Run. So Conqueror comes in. Seeing that this thing is locked in a Flamethrower, he has to switch to Togekiss. Togekiss gets flexed on by the Facade. Now, if this Togekiss does not have Aura Sphere, it is going to be a done deal for Vileman either way he puts it. However, Empoleon comes in, takes the Air Slash to the face. I wonder what is going to happen next. Togekiss hits Roost. Empoleon's going for Scald here. Pretty much, it's going to be a slow one, but it's looking... I don't know, the Fire Blast does an okay amount of damage to Empoleon, but not really enough. And now that Empoleon knocked off Togekiss's leftovers, it's in a situation where a single Scald Burn is going to make this a whole lot harder for Vileman to work his way out of. And there's the Scald Burn. It is now a lot harder for Vileman to work his way out of this one. So he's going to roost up here. Empoleon's going to click Roar. It brings in Nidoking. That also explains why he switched it out earlier, because he was Scarf Nidoking, which for sure wasn't going to kill, when even Standard Life Orb Nidoking couldn't kill Empoleon. Good to know now. But... so, he's just going to keep clicking Roar. You know, this would be a whole lot funner if he had the, you know, hazards up on his team, but unfortunately he doesn't. He switches out. He goes into his Beedrill, predicting Togekiss to come in. Nice aggressive play on Hybuyn's behalf. He's going to U-turn on the Nidoking, go back to his Empoleon again, which, you know, can still take an Earth Power pretty easily. He's going to Scald this Togekiss. I mean, he really has nothing to fear. It's looking good for Hybuyn right now. He's in a very positive situation he'd want to be in. The Togekiss has no leftovers. It's burned. He can just roar back out. Nidoking isn't able to do anything. He could just keep clicking Scald as he's forced to go back into Togekiss, because there's nothing that Vileman can do to break this Empoleon anymore. So Hybuyn is just ready to close this out. He goes to his Beedrill, but it eats a Flamethrower to the face, and now this game just took an extra 15 turns to finish. So Empoleon comes in once again. Togekiss is going to hit Roost, and oh my goodness, Hybuyn got too greedy, too aggressive on the plays here. I mean, don't get me wrong, Vileman still cannot break this Empoleon, but he will stall it for every turn of PP that it has in its arsenal, I guarantee you. And that's what it's looking like it's going to be here. He really just needs to soften this thing up so that it's in Earth Power's KO range. But Hybuyn is smart, and he just roars Vileman's Togekiss out. Takes the Earth Power pretty easily, scalds this Nidoking, hoses it down with some real hot water. However, now it's looking like it's in Vileman's favor because of how much damage that this Empoleon is taking. It's to the point that, you know, a single Fire Blast is going to almost put this Empoleon in KO range. I mean, really, I feel like he could have gotten away with trying to go for another Fire Blast there, but he could have risked missing and losing this game ultimately. Vileman wants to play it safe, so he's going to click Roost here at the cost of letting this Empoleon recover HP with leftovers. And I mean, it's recovering enough that he's going to need a lot more Fire Blasts. And he's in a situation where, because of how much damage he's taken between Torrent boosted Scalds, well, not Torrent anymore, but burn damage, Scald, you know, it's looking like you can't really air slash flinch your cheese. I can't talk today. Air slash flinch cheese your way out of this. You kind of have to just play it by ear, and you know, missing that Fire Blast does not help. It's very unfortunate. So yeah, this Empoleon's sitting here, and it's kind of crazy that this thing went from like, what, 11% all the way back up to half of its health, while forcing this Togekiss to just click Roost. I mean, really, in an all or nothing situation, Vileman really could have just clicked Fire Blast again when that Empoleon was low. Hope that he hit it, but based on his luck that he's having now, it's looking like Vileman might have missed that and ultimately lost the game. So he's taking the long way here. This Empoleon's taking the PP stall route. Now he's just clicking Roar. Togekiss is clicking Fire Blast, and he might have to really come down to just cheesing this thing with Air Slash and hoping that he can get the victory off that way. And that's indeed what's happening. However, 10% off the Air Slash is not looking good because he's recovering about half of that with leftovers. So that's going to be a lot of consecutive flinches. I mean, you're doing a collective 4% per Air Slash. You're going to need to get like about 12 flinches, no, 13 flinches in a row with air slash for Togekiss to break this Empoleon. And if you even roost once, then you pretty much just lost like 2 air slashes right there. So you have to go back and do it again. So, yeah. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for Vileman right now. He's in a tight scenario where he's been in round 1 of a game and he's gotten to 2 stall wars already. Not favorable at all, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, I guess. And sometimes you don't always want to do it. But here we are doing it. So turn 97, we're still air slashing. We're trying to cut this Empoleon down. We get low rolls, unfortunate. By this point, I would just say screw it and just keep clicking air slash. But he's playing safe. He's really trying to stay up in this, so he's clicking roost to heal back up. I mean, Empoleon's like clicking roars, clicking knockoff. He's just running out of juice all over the place. But he's still got some scalds left in him. Still got some hot water left. But is it hot enough to break this Togekiss? I don't know. However, it's fortunate to have to still heal. So, I don't know. This battle has gotten to a point where, like, you could say it's in one guy's favor, then it was in the other guy's favor, and now it's just kind of, screw it, can this be over with already? Turn 102. And what's crazy is how offensive both of these teams were, and it's really 102 turns long. And then I'm actually narrating this whole thing. So, yeah, air slash again. Empoleon's gonna go for another knockoff on this thing. He's gonna keep going. I'm pretty sure that this Togekiss is running low on air slashes right now, and I feel like it's not gonna have enough to really break this Empoleon unless he gets like several critical flinch air slashes back to back to back. I mean several back to back. But you know, as long as he's just able to keep flinching them down, I mean, losing your leftovers and getting the burn was highly unfortunate, but the way this is played out, Vileman's Togekiss gets hosed down by a Scald. Hybuyn wins this struggle. It was a very long match, very excruciating, very tooth and nail, went right down to the wire, down to the very last breath, but eventually he succumbed. Now, like I said, this could have been circumvented. This could have been like at least 60 turns shorter, maybe 70 turns shorter, if Latias had Psy Shock, or if it had Thunderbolt, or if freaking, I don't know. I mean, all things considered, I did not realize that was Scarf Nidoking. I actually kind of forgot about that detail, so that does work in Vileman's favor because it gave him a way of dealing with Mega Beedrill. So, you know, Hybuyn just going to Beedrill and trying to kill Latias was not going to end the game straight away. However, if, I don't know, like if Beedrill, oh man, I don't know, that was frustrating. That's game 1, this is game 2. Alright, so game 2 out in this. Hybuyn versus Vileman. Hybuyn is bringing, this time, his team's a little bit bulkier this time. You know, he's got kind of like a bulky offense thing going on with a Mega Steelix. Presumably a defensive Sylveon with Wish. Tentacruel Rapid Spin. I'm going to assume Swords Dance Gliscor. Some kind of Latias set. And likely still holding the Vinkun. Vileman has also brought a completely different team. This time, however, he's packing the offensive threats pretty heavily. He's got Mega Pidgeot, Conkeldurr, Latias, Primarina, and Mamoswine. You know, the biggest defensive pivots on his team being, you know, possibly Empoleon and Primarina if it's defensive. So, I mean, you know, I'm going to say immediately, I think this is in Vileman's favor. I think this is the game he needs to bounce back because his threats are just looking very anti-Hybuyn. I mean, for starters, you have a Conkeldurr. You got the Conkeldurr already. That thing, like, it destroys Gliscor. You know, can take it from Suicune and punish it severely, annihilates Steelix. Sylveon is scared to switch in on Facade, you know, as is Latias for that same reason, as well as Knockoff. And then you have like Mamoswine just hitting Earthquake on everything and Icicle Crash or Ice Shard on a few things that don't take Earthquake. And then Mega Pidgeot just comes through and cleans up, not to mention he gets free switch opportunities on Gliscor. Yeah, I'm going to say I think this is Vileman's game here. This is what he needs to bounce back, so let's see if I'm right or not. So he's going to lead Primarina, so it gives me reason to assume this is probably a Specs Primarina. Hybuyn is going to switch out, go straight to his Tentacruel, not even try to, you know, hit Protect. But I mean, I guess he knew the Moonblast was coming. Critical Moonblast on Tentacruel, kind of favorable. Vileman's going to go to his Empoleon, presumably to defog away the Toxic Spikes. Hybuyn goes to Latios on an Empoleon. Very interesting, almost kind of a giveaway as if you were using a Z Thunderbolt set. But Empoleon's going to click Toxic, and Vileman's going to go to Mamoswine. He was predicting Z Thunderbolt, but he instead got greeted with a nice Psychic to the face. He's going to go back to Empoleon now, seeing that this Latios must not be packing the Z Thunderbolt. But you never know, there's a lot of surprises. He's going to switch back into Mamoswine, and this time he catches him with the Gigavolt Havoc, blocks it with Mamoswine, as well as leaving him in range for Ice Shard to KO. So, I mean, good move on Hybuyn for, outplaying Vileman's playing with Mamoswine, but, good moves on Vileman for managing to soften up the Latios. I mean, even though Suicune is able to survive and is healthy and Mamoswine is down, Vileman still has threats here. Tentacruel is going to come in on this Primarina, go for a Scalp, take this Moonblast to the face. It is dealing some damage. It's dealing a lot of damage Tentacruel does not really want to take, and he ends up losing his Tentacruel just to get off a layer of Toxic Spikes. So I kind of don't really think it was worth it, honestly. I think that Toxic Spike was kind of bad, but he really was just sacking Tentacruel to get something else in safely, most likely. So he got Gliscor and he got the Swords Dance off, and now he's going to go to Pidgeot, hit the Facade on him. Hit the Facade on them, boys. And he's going to switch out, go to Steelix, obviously. Hopefully this is work up Pidgeot and he's not packing Heat Wave, because then Steelix can easily take it. I mean, it also takes Heat Wave and still kills. Yeah, still takes the Heat Wave. Well, it's going to set up Stealth Rock on this Pidgeot, actually, and then he's going to go to Sylveon, which easily takes the Heat Wave. Sylveon doesn't want to take too many Hurricanes, but it does have Roost. Vileman's going to U-turn the Pidgeot out of Sylveon. He's going to go to his Empoleon to try to defog. Sylveon's going to set up a Wish, and already you can kind of see what the issue is with Hybuyn's team here versus Vileman's. Vileman defogs, Gliscor gets in and gets healed safely because he knew he was going for defog. He's going to Earthquake, but the Sugar Berry allows Empoleon to survive. And I mean, sure, Scald might not KO, but with that critical hit, it does a lot of damage that Hybuyn was not accounting for. So, he's forced to Roost here. Vileman reads this, goes to his Pidgeot, playing aggressively here. He's going to Roost as well, heal himself back up. The most he can do is get a cheap Facade off, and I mean, he can still just Roost on that, but he's just going to go for the Hurricane now. Hope for a confusion. He's going to let Pidgeot go down to Facade. However, make no mistake, Vileman still has offensive threats. He's got the Conkeldurr in the back, he's got the Primarina up front, going for Moonblast. Steelix isn't going to be healthy enough to take this Moonblast. Nothing on Hybuyn's team now is left that wants to take a Moonblast to the face. And that Sylveon is no exclusion to this rule. So, he's going to try to throw up a Wish here, but he's going to switch out. He's going to go to Empoleon here, knowing that Sylveon was going for Protect. Empoleon's going to come in, most likely to either get up Hazards or get another Toxic off or something. Latios is going to come in. Empoleon's going to go for Scald. Most likely the Latios is going to try to click Thunder or Thunderbolt on this thing. However, Vileman is going to read this, just go to his own Latios, embarrass him. But he ends up getting paralyzed because of Thunder's 30% paralysis rate, or is it 20%? I forget. Either way, it's pretty darn high. Anyway, Sylveon comes in. Latios uses Trick, dumps the Scarf on a Sylveon in exchange for his life. This is going to allow Vileman to pretty much go to his Empoleon and force Sylveon out, or he's just going to be able to get some free damage off on it because now it can't heal his teammates anymore. Hybuyn is going to try to sack Latios to this Empoleon. However, he goes for Toxic instead of going for another Scald. Draco Meteor does nothing. I guess Hybuyn didn't want to risk missing another Thunder. So, yeah. Empoleon's here. Latios is down. Gliscor comes in. Revenge kills the Empoleon pretty easily. This is food for either Conkeldurr or Primarina to just come in and eat whatever's left on the opposing team. Sylveon's going to come in on this Conkeldurr. He's going to knock off the Scarf. And he's going to flex on his Sylveon with Facade because he's max speed Conkeldurr and he don't give a crap about no defensive Sylveon. So, Gliscor is going to come in, Earthquake this Conkeldurr, and get Facaded on out of existence. Suicune's going to come in. I mean, what is Suicune doing to a Conkeldurr? Nothing. He's going to try to play the stall game, which I mean is sensible because Flame Orb is passively damaging Conkeldurr. However, the amount of HP he's going to be getting back from Drain Punch is going to pretty much nullify this. Suicune is going to have to just go for a Calm Mind here. Hope he can get like a critical +1 Scald off on this thing and do a lot of damage. But He's going to try to whittle it down as much as possible with Protect, let that Flame Orb damage rack up a bit, 68%. It's not going to be enough, but he's going to go for it. He's going to go for the sub here as well. He's really going to try to take this Suicune down. But, you know, he's still getting a lot of HP back. And in fact, just letting him use a substitute, Drain Punching the substitute, and then following up with a Protect, he's actually netted Conqueror 2% more HP back than it had before. So, you know, not that it really made a difference, but this critical Drain Punch, I'm not sure if it mattered anyway, because you saw the first one did like half of its health, allows Vileman to win this battle handily against Hybuyn. He gets his revenge, beats down the Suicune. The Conqueror was here. Vileman basically had threats on threats on threats, and he managed to play around them. Now, Hybuyn was putting up a good match. He played a really good game, but the issue with his team was he just didn't have enough momentum to counterbalance all of Vileman's threats. He couldn't fend them off, and he really couldn't do a whole ton back to most of them. He just kind of had to sit there and take it, and eventually Conqueror was able to plow through and pick off what was left. So yeah, that was a good game. Nice round 2. No Suicune stall shenanigans there that end up prolonging a match by like 40 plus turns. So I'm thankful for that. So now that you've seen game 2, let's move on to game 3 and see which one of these guys is going to be advancing to round 3. Game 3 out in this, man. Hybuyn versus Vileman. Very exciting. Both of these guys have brought completely different teams every round. They kept it interesting, they kept it unpredictable. Pardon my footage, it's lagging, but the video is still going. Do not adjust your screens. Now, Vileman is looking to win here because he brought the famous team made by Meeps, featuring Alolan Ninetales and Hawlucha. Basically, Alolan Ninetales sets up Aurora Veil, makes his team incredibly hard to kill for 8 turns. Hawlucha sets up, gets the boost of Unburden, activates Swords Dance, and just starts cooking the opponent's team, especially if it has a substitute up with its great stab combination. It features Eject Button Crocodile to catch a Scizor that's using U-turn, trap it with Magneton, kill it with HP Fire, so that one of the few things that can easily revenge kill most Hawlucha is now eliminated. Also has a Mega Swampert and a Latias. I think the Latias is like Z Draco Meteor if I'm not mistaken. But for Hybuyn to play around this, because Hawlucha just devastates his team. It has some free setup opportunity against Cobalion and Gliscor, and it outruns Starmie and can kill it in a pinch if needed. And you know, once it gets Unburdened off, you know, Hydreigon and Xurkitree are no longer threats to it either. So he really has to play around it. Now Mega Beedrill is a big threat to Vileman's team. And, you know, it gets a lot of momentum with U-turn, especially if it has Drill Run that can also beat Magneton. But it's really going to come down to how well Beedrill can play versus how soon Vileman can get set up with Hawlucha. So he leads Crocodile against the Beedrill, but he doesn't want to take the U-turn to the face because he's Eject Button. So he switches out, goes to Swampert, takes almost half his health to this -1 U-turn. Xurkitree comes in, goes for Energy Ball. Latias takes the Energy Ball, but it has an unfortunate special defense drop. Hybuyn is going to go to Gliscor. Latias is going to set up the Z Draco Meteor and pretty much wipe this Gliscor off the face of the planet. Beedrill is going to come in to revenge kill. Magneton is going to come in. Obviously, he's taking that U-turn. That did a lot of damage to a Magneton, of course, because it's not that bulky. Hydreigon comes in. Flamethrower kills the Magneton. Latias comes in to revenge kill Hydreigon, but he double switches to Crocodile. However, Hybuyn is going to just stay in on his Crocodile. However, it activates Eject Button, brings Latias back in again. He's going to keep going for Flamethrower. I think he was really just trying to catch Alolan Ninetales getting a cheap come in, but there's no reason for it to try to switch in once he sees you're locked in a Flamethrower, and he has reason to assume you're Scarf Hydreigon anyway. So Hybuyn loses his Hydreigon. Cobalion comes in. Crocodile comes in to intimidate the Cobalion. He's going to go for Earthquake, but he shook a berry. So he sets up a Swords Dance, takes this Earthquake. He's going to close combat this Crocodile, punch the thing out in the next week. And now Vileman has a boosted Cobalion staring him down. He Mega Evolves his Swampert, hoping he could take the +1 close combat, but he cannot. I'm not sure the Swampert's EVs are spread, so I'm not going to try to assume the calcs here. Iron Head does a lot of damage to his Hawlucha, but it activates Unburden, yet he flinches. Unfortunate, because he could have gotten a Swords Dance off right there, and then he misses High Jump Kick, loses his health. Pretty much, that's game. That was game. Vileman knew it was over. He forfeited. What a fluke, man. That's crazy unfortunate. That is a heck of a way to go out after all that work. You know, because it's really whack because Hawlucha actually won the game. All he had to do was use Swords Dance when Cobalion used Iron Head here, and if he had not flinched, then he would have been able to set up and counter sweep his team. But he flinched. He couldn't even get the high jump kick off to revenge kill this thing and still have a chance at coming back later in the match. So it's unfortunate, but Hybuyn, you've won the game. Congratulations and welcome to round 3. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace.